Last December I made a video on my channel about if I can beat all the mainline Sonic games without touching grass, because anyone who watches this channel doesn't go outside, am I right? This is one of my best videos. It's time for a follow-up a year later. I was thinking about how to one-up that video, and by one-up, I mean stealing the most regurgitated idea in the comment section of what gamer stereotype to use next. Not showering. Since I'm a YouTuber who doesn't know how to do an intro onto the Sonic games without touching water. Before I start covering the games, I'm going to state the rules I'm using for this video. 1. It must be a body of water of some kind, so rain doesn't count. It must be like an ocean, a river, a pool. As long as it is a collection of water, it counts, but it can't just be one single drop on its own. 2. If it is during a cutscene, it doesn't count. Only active gameplay counts. 3. It has to be water. Chemicals, oils, and unknown liquids don't count. 4. Water in the foreground and background don't count. The character I am playing as has to actively make contact with the water. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 is, for sure a game. I won't beat around the bush, like, it's not great. It very much is a victim of first game syndrome, but that's a topic for another video. Can you beat this game without touching water? Short answer, no, but that's boring. How much of the game can you beat? Well, you can get all the way to Labyrinth Zone for anyone who's played the game. Yeah, you're not beating this zone without touching water. But if you beat the previous 6 levels with 50 rings and excel at Sonic's LSD trips, you can get all 6 Chaos Emeralds. So while you can't beat the game, you can at least get the true ending requirements, which I mean, it's more than you're gonna get for some of these games. Sonic Compact Disc is the connecting tissue between 1 and 2, and I will hold my opinion on this game to try and avoid, you know, slight scruffle. The third level is titled Tempest, which there's no way to avoid the water in it. At least in Labyrinth Zone, it lets you try for about 30 seconds before dashing your dreams. Like in Sonic 1, there are true ending requirements. You either destroy the robot generator and hologram in the past version of each level, or you collect the 7 time stones. To get the chance to get a time stone, you need to finish a level with 50 rings and beat the bonus level where you destroy all the UFOs. So clearly, since Sonic's still trying to sober up after the first game, you can't even get the true ending unlocked because you can't break the generators since you stopped in level 3 and can only collect a max of 4 time stones. So time for Sonic CD to be completely destroyed like its acronym should have been.
Got it in 1. I'm the best.
I was surprised at how little water there is in this game. There's only 1 level with water, and if you bring Tails, you can easily avoid it, ensuring you're on the higher path. Aside from that, the closest is chemicals and oil, which I did rule out, but if you want to count them, you can completely avoid them. In Chemical Plant, if you start on the higher path and climb fast enough, you can climb fast enough to avoid ever making contact with the chemicals. And in Oil Ocean, if you sink too deep in the oil, you hit a kill plane, so there's zero benefit for you ever being in the oil, meaning it is designed to a point where you can avoid it. These levels are the only one that have a liquid of any kind, unless you count the lava in Hilltop Zone, which I don't. Water is wet, and lava is... Also, you want to avoid going to Hidden Palace Zone, don't do what I did. But if you don't go to Hidden Palace, you can easily beat Sonic 2 without touching water. Sonic Tree insert funny joke. I'm sure most of you know that this game is not possible thanks to the fucking enchilada. Hydro City, you can argue about it in the comments, is the second stage in the game. To get the Chaos Emeralds, you need to find these big rings which lead you to grab blue balls, which is really easy for me because I already have to going into every special stage. This isn't like Sonic 2 where if you find every checkpoint in Acts 1 and 2 of Emerald Hill, you can get all 7 Chaos Emeralds before you even reach Chemical Plant. Here you can only get a max of 4 in Angel Island, so Sonic 3 is completely unbeatable, and you can't get the true ending requirements. Sonic Adventures where I feel me and you guys are gonna disagree, but we can talk about this. Chaos is a being made entirely out of water. But I fucking love this game so much, so I'm giving myself a free pass, mostly because I don't want to play even less of this game than I did in the last video. Surprisingly, the beach, you know, the thing with seemingly endless water, you can actually get around without touching water. But you can't get much further than that. After Windy Valley, you go to the sewers, and no matter what you do, you land in the water. I do know it's completely possible to skip Windy Valley and the light speed dash goes straight to Casinopolis by abusing the spin dash, but I'm not that level of speedrunner yet. Yet I get stronger every day. Although unlike the last video, we get to Tails' story, which lets you switch to his side. Since he doesn't need the light speed dash, he should be fine. The only issue is the sewers in Casinopolis, but if you hug the walls, you can stay on a thin platform above the water. Ice Cap is no water as well, and it's a snowboarding level. The only problem is Chaos 4. I tried over and over and over again to not hit the water on the battlefield, but it is way too hard to hit him and then fly to a lily pads. The devs must have even realized this because you can stand on the water in this fight. I may have given myself a pass on Chaos 0, but I don't think I can excuse this. Unlike his older brother, Sonic Adventure 2 is a much simpler time. City skips in San Francisco, so water instantly evaporates there according to testimony I've heard from Californians. Isn't that right, Shiro? You then progress through the water-deprived California until you get to Aquatic Mine, is what you expected me to say. But you can lower the water to level 3 like you would for the air necklace, so there's just a thin layer of water at the bottom. And since the other levels have no water, you can beat all of the hero story without touching water. For so different the hero story is to my previous video, the dark story is almost exactly the same. Dry Lagoon is a level separated into two parts where you manhandle a turtle to get to the second half, but he goes below the water. There will always be at least one emerald shard in each part, so it's impossible to get them all without touching the water, at least not without getting extremely lucky, but I'm not gonna restart spam in the hopes of getting that lucky. Sonic Heroes is very different from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 in the fact where Sonic Adventure you can stand on the water in most cases. In Sonic Heroes you get killed unless there's water on the path, you should easily avoid touching water. The only two levels that could have water are Seaside Hill and Ocean Palace, which I played about touching water, and
Okay, just run.
Oh no.
Forward. Just run straight ahead.
So I had multiple other people research for me. Aside from this small patch of water you could probably fly over if you do all 4 times, it's possible to beat Sonic Heroes without touching the water. You couldn't pay me enough money to play Lost Jungle and verify that for myself. No, I will have nightmares for weeks. Shadow the Hedgehog is a game with a branching story. You need to get all 10 alternate endings to unlock the true final story, which is the canon ending. I feel like the game was so committed to the branching path system that Sega developed, and they wanted to make sure you saw all of their game, and they did so in the worst possible way. I'd rather replay all of Sonic 06, so I'm going to do what I did last time. I have made yet another flowchart for this game, and I'm going to examine which levels have water, and only one level in Shadow the Hedgehog has water, and that is Death Ruins. Well, the water in that level is unavoidable. Because of the flowchart structure of Shadow the Hedgehog, you can completely skip that level and get all 10 endings. The rest of the levels don't have any water in them. It's confirmed now that Shadow only drinks Coke. Sonic 06. Since I don't have an Xbox or PS3, I boot up my next best thing, my legit Xbox 360, that uses a PS5 controller. And after the intro cutscene, oh god, what is wrong with this? I mean, besides the fact it's Sonic 06. Well, considering none of the hub worlds have water you need to touch, I went to my backup plan, Project 06, and Wave Ocean is unbeatable, so you're stopped in the first level anyway. Since you can't get the Shadow and Silver, you can't get through their stories, but maybe it's better 06 is left in the past where it really belongs. Sonic unleashes a globe-trotting adventure, the same world that is only 71% water, but unlike Sonic 06 we can get further than in the previous video. Apatos, Pride Rock, Mario's homeland, your short friend's workplace until Christmas. This is where Sonic gets stuck as well. To get to Cool Edge's day level you need to boost across the water. You don't get the air dash until you go to the 100 Acre Wood afterwards. Even if you do somehow get the air dash, you can't boost across the water anyway. You can't even make it to the level by going night and then going around the lake because the area is closed off from above. All we can do is prepare for Hedgehog in December. Sonic Colors is a 2010 game where each main planet has a certain design to it. I figured I wouldn't be able to beat Aquatic Park. Since I can do the planets in whatever order I wanted to some degree, I decided to do Aquatic Park last, but I was surprised when I got the Asteroid Coaster, and this part is completely unskippable. That leaves us with 4 out of the 6 planets, but ultimately that's where it ends. I did go back to my live streams of the DS version of Sonic Colors to see if you can get around water. You still can't beat Aquarium Park in the DS version, but there is no water in DS Asteroid Coaster, so neither version of Colors is beatable. Sonic Generations is a compilation of fan favorite levels, but you can't get far in Generations as you're stopped in Green Hill Zone. In modern Green Hill Zone, you're launched for a waterfall, and that's how you get to the grind rail at the end of the level. I'm just gonna lump Shadow Generations in here, because that isn't possible either. Everything after the big lizard. You even get a Doom power to Doom Surf across the water so you can do the rest of the game. While you can do more than Sonic's side in Shadow Generations, it's still completely unbeatable. Sonic Lost World in this game was so boring to replay, but I'm not going to get into it. This game is thankfully unbeatable. You get through the first 2 worlds, which is already hell in and of itself, but once you reach the beach you have 2 ways to advance. You either take the Drill Wisp, who shouldn't be here, but again, topic for another day, which takes you to the other side of the planet, but that's underwater, so that's out of the question. Or you can stay above land until you reach a giant wall too high to run up or spin dash up, forcing you to take either of the 2 massive water geysers up. I haven't tried using Drill to see if I was past the water section, but apparently the whole other side of the map is underwater, so Lost World is thankfully unbeatable. Sonic Mania is an official Sonic game made by fans. They decided to take an approach which was make some new levels, but also throw in some classic favorite levels from the original trilogy. Unfortunately for this video, one of the levels they included is Hydro City from Sonic 3. If you know anything from that level, it starts the same way as it does in Sonic 3, where you're dropped straight into the water. So there's nothing I can do in this case, unfortunately. We were talking about win conditions earlier, you can get all 7 Chaos Emeralds long before you reach Hydro City, so at least you get to play with Super Sonic for a bit before you drown yourself. I was having a great day today I recorded this footage because I went straight from Lost World into Sonic Forces. Please end me. Both Shadow and Sonic must take a water slide in their level, so neither campaign is beatable, but I want the hour I took getting to this point in Sonic's story back, and I'm never going to get it. Despite all the various lakes and water in this game, you can avoid them all. All the lakes can be walked around and there's various bridges, and the rivers can be jumped and boosted over. So the question is, how you advance in Sonic Frontiers? You collect keys and memory tokens. Memory tokens can be found scattered all around, and to my knowledge all of them are above water. The keys you get from the cyberspace levels, which are unlocked by collecting gears from fighting all the mini-bosses. With enough keys you can get a Chaos Emerald, and when you have 6 out of the 7, you get access to the main boss because the 7th is on whatever Titan you're fighting. With careful traversal, you can get around all the islands without touching the water. The only thing that gives me pause is this enemy called the Balloon. There's an enemy that keeps you submerged. You need to stomp until he explodes and you get out. Firstly, that's gross as fuck. Secondly, because of his red color, I can't tell if this is water or some kind of bodily fluid. Yes, it looks clear when it explodes, but I really can't tell, so I'm going to leave it up to you. If you classify this as water, then yeah, Sonic Frontiers is impossible. But if you deem it's not water, then it is possible if you're careful platforming. And the same goes for DLC to Final Horizon, because it has a very similar progression system. And that is everything I classify a mainline Sonic game done. Thank you for watching this video. I really enjoyed making it. If you have an idea for another video like this for the Sonic series, or hell, any other series, feel free to suggest it in the comments below and I will take it under consideration. Next video will probably be a highlight video from some live stream series because I've got such a huge backlog that I need to catch up on. But I'll probably throw in a few original challenge videos here and there to mix it up. But other than that, I will see you all in the next video, whatever it ends up to be. Bye guys.